What's going on, y'all?
What's going on, y'all? So we back again for another episode review of Love and Marriage Detroit, and I would have been so mad if I would have watched this last night. Because are you serious? All right. I had stuff to do yesterday, so that's why I didn't get to it. But this is Love and Marriage Detroit, season 1, episode 6. Spill the public tea. Let me tell you something. I don't even remember half the stuff that I said last week on the review, whatever, but I did say that, maybe Christina feels some type of way. Truth be told, this whole situation with this not publicist, that's later on in the episode. The whole situation with this branding thing or whatever, and this collaboration, I feel as though they both got it misunderstood, and the person that was in charge of the whole collaboration probably mixed up the messages, and y'all just didn't clearly get the message, and so it's a big misunderstanding. If they were grown enough, mature enough to just sit down and to talk it out, or to just get on the phone and, clear it up or whatever, it would have been fine. Christina, she could have called, okay? Truth be told, as I said, Kobe, don't send nobody no text message when you are trying to do business with them or you trying to see about business. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want your husband going out here just, sliding on a dotted line to, do this business and do that business because you want to see and you want to be involved. Pick up the phone and you call somebody. And if they don't want to pick up the phone and call you back, you move on and you go do something else, okay? You continue with the collaborate or with the event or the branding situation project yourself, okay? Christina feels as though the way that she interpreted that Kobe was trying to be a part of something that she already got going on. That's not really what the case was. They were trying to do something together. She did know because the lady had told Kobe that, even though you're trying to reach out to work with me, I'm also working with Christina. There is absolutely nothing wrong for multiple people to be working with the same situation, the same brand, to be a brand ambassador. You got Fenty Beauty, you got Fashion Nova, you got all these people out here who have multiple people, multiple social media influencers who are working with the same brand. They are brand ambassadors. There is nothing wrong with that, okay? Christina, you don't own that brand, and you can't tell that lady that she can't hold out with nobody else. Kobe, you don't own the brand, and you can't tell that lady that she can't work with nobody else either. That's just basically what it is, and I'm putting that out there for a reason because this kind of comes up at the end when they have their little conversation, and girl, it was a mess, okay? It was a big misunderstanding that did not have to be, and where it really went wrong is Christina. And I'm not saying that she wrong because, as I said, I do remember saying this last week. She the type of person that'll just sit there calmly and talk to you and it'll press your buttons because, she not going to give you that energy that that you're looking for. And that's what happened with Kobe. Kobe, she's younger. And I can't even say that, girl. You like probably early. You just turned 30. Okay? You should be able to handle yourself a little bit better in public or in situations where you're trying to confront somebody or you're trying to clear up something because you don't always get into your feelings. Nobody is going to want to work with you because you always bring in personal to the business aspect of things, okay? And you're getting in your feelings and all that stuff. Yeah, I was on your side a little bit, but this episode, I see how childish you really are, okay? And I can correct myself when I need be. And you were very childish up in this episode. I'm just going to put that out there right off the bat, all right? And that whole you getting upset at the bowling alley or the skating rink or whatever because Christina wasn't giving you the energy and it was pissing you off, and that's why you left. That's literally why you left. They both share blame because they both misunderstood. Then you get this whole situation where Anthony's sitting down with Brandon and Christina and basically telling Brandon that he don't really want to rock with him like that because he don't trust him and all this stuff because, you snaking your partner and all this stuff. You don't snake friends. How did he really snake Russell? I mean, he spoke on his wife and just basically said that, and I probably said something different, but I'm looking at it at a different perspective and a much more, mature lens, okay? 'Cause like I said, I can correct myself. How is it that he's whatever going on between Russell and Brandon has any inclinations or anything to do with you, Anthony. I just don't understand that. And it's not like he said that, you know, he out here spreading rumors about Kobe. He out here spreading rumors about Russell. He's out here being underhanded. He's out here taking their business from underneath them. He's out here telling people not to work with them. That'd be disloyal. That'd be snaking. But just simply saying that his wife is a Kobe cat because he sees some of the stuff allegedly that he claims that she's been doing when it comes to Christina, because they're both social media influencers, so they say, it's like, what does that got to do with you, Anthony, in this disloyalty and all of this stuff type of situation? Absolutely nothing. So when they came at Anthony, I really wasn't mad. When I'm looking at it now, I wasn't mad at Brandon and Christina getting on Anthony's ass, because Anthony, you're doing too much. And at this point, I don't understand if that is y'all supposed to have been friends for 20 plus years, right? You and Brandon. Y'all started this episode off, or this season off, and you going in and you going up for Brandon, and you letting us know that you have his back and you gonna do this and you gonna do that for him and all this stuff. You hyping him up and you telling him what he needs to do to get his marriage back on track. But he didn't even do nothing to you, and he didn't even do nothing that freaking bad for you to even be upset at him, to be going around cutting corners and calling him disloyal and saying that you can't trust him and all this stuff. And I'm just sitting here like, this don't make no sense, okay? It's some underlying issues going on, and I just don't feel like we're getting down to the bottom of it. And then, you know, you're bringing your wife in, and Latoya, you know what? I was on your side for a minute, but after seeing what's going to happen on next week's episode, you doing a bit much too. Now I just come to the conclusion that everybody on the show ain't worth shit, okay? Because, you know, next week on that preview, you do not, for somebody to just sit here, Latoya, let me get on you right quick, because y'all know how I am. I'll call you out when I need to call you out. Correct myself when I need to correct myself. You, and I sat here and said, basically your issue is, you don't like stuff to be happening in the public or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You don't like for people to be going out and we having a good time, or we in a public place and y'all always getting into it and we having these arguments. That's embarrassing and all that stuff. I understand that. And, you know, you want to say that you have not picked a side. You clearly have picked a side. Okay? Let's be 100% real. Latoya, you picked a side, and you picked Kobe's side. And truth be told, there really is no sides to pick, okay? On that preview for next week's episode, you literally just said that you don't like it when people get out here, y'all going to this place, stuff is always happening, then you want to say the common denominator is Brandon and Christina. Okay, let's get into that for a second. Because if one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to be truthful. Brandon and Christina got into the first situation at their anniversary, right? They got into that first situation at their anniversary, and it was something that was brought up. They didn't really bring it up that I can recall, and especially when it came to the whole situation about him working with another artist, Kobe brought that up. And that's where everything truly blew up. Okay, it's not like they set out to have some issues in front of the whole group. Okay, then we have your situation where you had your wine opening or the opulence tasting and all that stuff. Again, your husband was involved in that as well, and that's how it blew up. So it's not like they set out to have these issues in front of people and saying that they're the common denominator. That is not necessarily the 100% true. Yes, they had some blow-ups, but they didn't necessarily 100% cause it. They were reactions to people saying stuff that was putting stuff on front streets or whatever, and therefore it blew up, and Brandon didn't help to put it down because he participated in it, and then therefore Christina participated in it. So they weren't the catalyst, okay? Now, in this whole situation with Kobe and Christina that happened at the Rolling Ring, Christina didn't even start that. Kobe brought it up, I believe. And y'all could correct me in the comments too, because Kobe was the main one that had the issue that Christina didn't get back to her. So for you to say that they the one that starting all the stuff and they're the common denominator, that's just not the case. And I don't even rock with them like that, but I'm not finna sit here and just be jumping and saying, oh, well, yeah, that's the truth, when it's not. And you want to say that you're not on the bandwagon, but yet, and you don't like public displays of people getting into it, but yet you waited. You sat there and you listened to Kobe and what she had to say this whole time. And now one time did you go and have a little conversation with Christina and get her side of the things. And then as soon as Kobe goes back to you and tell you what was going on from her standpoint, you go confront Christina at her event. This is all happening next week. What does that say about you? That is some hypocritical stuff. You are being very contradictory, but yet you don't want to be said as you're being on a bandwagon. You are. You have clearly picked your side, okay? Moving on from that, you and your husband at this point, y'all are not looking too good. We already know your husband is trash, and I guess you trash too, because again, we ain't see you come out and say nothing about the fact that your husband literally sat there and cussed that lady out that he did not know and acted like a bitch towards her. That's messed up, and you ain't gonna say nothing about that. We did not see you cutting him down. We see you cutting Christina down or whatever, and everybody else, and judging everybody else, but yet you ain't saying nothing about how your husband spoke to Chelsea, who he did not know, who just asked him a simple question. We ain't see you do nothing like that, okay? You know, it is what it is. We'll get to it. Yeah, everybody's just about to get it, because I just didn't like this episode, because I just feel like y'all are just real petty and dumb. This whole situation with Kobe and Russell is a meathead, and we just gonna have to deal with it, okay? That man literally said, like, when I go out there to the beach, when I go out somewhere, what people say, what the first thing to say when I take my shirt off? Oh, can I feel your arms? Can I feel you? I said, Russell, can you shut up? Russell, please stop it, okay? Because you're not gonna beat those allegations that you are not off. You ride the yellow bus, okay? The short yellow bus to school, all right? That's what you're giving me, all right? And there's nothing wrong, but baby, it's just not, I don't know. And now you're talking to your wife about how you're gonna go, and I'm gonna go ahead and talk to Jermaine about the gym and see if I can sign on it or whatever. I said, what? I'm so tired of this gym conversation. You already know that your wife don't want that to happen without looking at it first, okay? Let it the freak go. Kobe, I don't know. At this point, Russell don't need to be trying to own nothing, okay? You got too many pots in the fires, and I just need you to just calm it down, all right? Meanwhile, you got this whole situation with Brandon and Christina. Christina go meet up with Brandon at the Star Factory, and they're talking about this showcase. And that's another thing that I'm tired of hearing about, okay? They got them little pictures up there trying to figure out which artists that they going to come up there and have in this showcase. Truth be told, I don't even remember what these showcases about and who came about with it and why we doing it, all right? Maybe it's just for a storyline to have something to do on this show. But Christina's like, this is way she can, you know, start off and, you know, help her man and all this stuff or whatever. You know, trying to get involved and, you know, they doing this stuff together, like showing that she interested in what he doing and all that. Okay, cool. Meanwhile, Brandon winds up telling her, so I get on the phone or I see a text message or whatever from Anthony talking about I only got 3 spots. I can bring 3 artists in. And Christina was like, wait a minute, hold on. What you mean about that? How many spots is it? It's 25 spots. And she was like, wait a minute. So it's your idea and your showcase that you came up with. And yeah, you can only bring in 3 artists from 25 spots that there's available. And he was like, you know what? You look at this whole thing and you talking about 25 spots and all this stuff. That means that it's not necessarily putting a focus on the artist that you're trying to develop or trying to get out there. It's a money grab, because why you got all these people? And I said, I mean, it is what it is. I don't know how that thing works, but maybe you do because you work in this business. But at the same time, I would feel offended as well if it's my showcase and I brought the idea to the plate and then you want to take over and you're going to tell me I can only bring in 3 artists and it's 25 spots? It's 25 spots. And he said, well, freak that. I didn't talk to the DJ that's going to be doing the thing. And we said, we on the same page. He going to bring 10 artists. I'm going to bring 10 artists or whatever. And they going to do whatever it is. I said, oh, this is a mess. This is a mess at this point. I just need them to get their mess together or to just drop this showcase situation, right? Then we got Chelsea, who is Kobe's friend, coming over there. And of course, Kobe ain't got nothing else going on but to talk about what Russell ain't doing for her, meaning he ain't communicating right, okay? And I'm like, maybe you just need to talk to him about it and quit talking to everybody else about it. And you need to just break it down how it really is, or, you know, tell him A, B, can you say C, C, so that he can get it. I don't know. I don't know, and at this point, I truly don't care. This sit down, and here goes some more mess that happened. Christina meets up with this lady named Brittany, right? She's supposed to be this big publicist out there in Detroit. She trying to get back out there. Now, see, I had no idea that she had kind of took a little bit of time off because of the kids. I thought that she was still like influencing, you know, for real, for real. No. So maybe that's also a reason why she felt how she felt with the whole situation with Kobe, because she's trying to get her footing back out there. Now we're getting a little bit more information, and now we're seeing a little bit more things clearly, or at least I am, to understand a little bit more of what's going on and what could be a possibility. But at the same time, we can all agree that Anthony is the biggest bitch on this show. Anthony is the biggest bitch on this show, okay? Because I have never seen in a long time, it's been a long time since I've seen somebody on a show that's supposed to be about mature married folks where the husband of one of the couples is being so freaking messy like this. Christina is sitting down with Brittany. They trying to come up together with all of their stuff that's going on or whatever, getting reacquainted. Obviously, they known each other for a minute or know of each other, and the people in the circle know each other, right? Okay, cool. Now, Brittany has an issue with Christina and Brandon, and mostly Brandon. And I appreciate the way that Brittany brought it to Christina, right? She said, I want to talk to you first before I talk to your husband, okay? And to just download you about what was told to me about the situation, because she don't want no funny mess. Basically, Anthony had told her that I don't understand why you trying to work with Brandon and Christina, or mostly Christina, because Brandon don't even like you. Brandon said he don't even rock with you. Brandon said this and Brandon said that. And I said, whoa, 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 whoa. At this point, Christina is like, now, I don't know if he said that, but if he did, I wouldn't understand why he said that. But, I mean, the fact that it's coming from Anthony, instantly, that would have just made my mind just start churning. Like, this fool is out here trying to just sabotage a whole bunch of stuff because he on some bitch made shit. That's basically what I was getting out of this whole thing. And again, for you to throw your friend under the bus like that for somebody else that you probably just been cool with because you want to say Brittany is my real friend. Yeah, but you also told us that Brandon is your friend for 20 plus years as well. So that means that y'all was friends since y'all was like 20s, late teens or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Y'all was friends since y'all was kids. And you literally throwing him under the bus and doing him like this. And y'all know I don't like Brandon because of the way that he acts sometimes when his marriage. And he's just had this woe is me and everybody picking on me and I'm the victim mentality. But yet in this situation, I would not be able to trust. Anthony, you up here talking about trust and Brandon. Brandon shouldn't be able to trust your ass. I wouldn't trust you as far as I can throw you and I can't pick your big ass up. G-Baby, you are doing too much. G-Baby was loyal in hardball. I don't understand why you doing this, okay? You are not staying true to character. And it is just really sad to see that you are literally throwing your friendship under the bus to be shady. And I'm just sitting here like, are you serious? And then you're going to say something about Russell. Said Russell don't like you or something like that. I said, what? What is going on? Like, Anthony, why are you doing this? Are you bored or whatever? Are you mad that you can't get out here? I don't know what's going on, okay? And then they had this whole situation, and this is what get me to. Russell, Lord bless his heart. And maybe this was what was needed. I don't know. Russell want to have a little Bible study, okay? I said, we finna have a Bible study at a bar. All right, this look like Bravo's Club, okay? And, you know, they show up with the men. We having this Bible study, and it's just the four of us, okay? Russell, Anthony, Brandon, and Bravo. When I saw Brandy get out that car and show up, I said, now, hold up. Now, Russell, I thought you told Brandy not to talk to you no more and don't associate with you no more. Don't have his name up in your mouth, in his mouth no more, or nothing like that, and that y'all ain't rocking with each other right now. I said, how long ago was that? That seemed like it was just really, it was really short. It was really short. You know what I'm saying? I said, what's going on? And now we want to have Bible study together? I said, what? You ain't gonna tell me not to do all that you was gonna break the bones of my body, and then we want to pause to praise Jesus together. I said, what is happening here? You know, so he's doing this for his divinity class and everything. And, you know, at one point, they do, he do come with a calmer head. And he said, you know, he was sitting on it for a minute. That's how he felt at the minute. You know, when that thing happened and I said all what I said, I mean, I really felt that at that moment. But, you know, I had to sit back on it and I had to be like, no, that ain't right. That ain't right. You know, Brandy, my bro and all that stuff, you know. But we gonna be good. We gonna be good. I said, all right, you know. And then it was like basically also what I need to put out there is it was something being said that you said something about me and my wife to Brittany, the publicist, and all this stuff. And he said, I ain't never say nothing about your wife. Okay, and I ain't never say nothing about you. I ain't spread nothing about you or nothing. And then here comes Brandon. Brandon said, I mean, yeah, this is what happened because, and I couldn't tell if Brandon was lying because he had that inflection in his voice that kind of felt like he was a little bit, I don't know. I can't tell who, I'm not Brandon, but I'm talking about Anthony. I mean, he was like, so what happened was, you know, because Brittany, she my real friend or whatever. So I had to tell her that, you know, we was talking and she was telling me that Christina wanted to have some work with her. And I'm like, really? Brandon said flat out that he don't even rock with y'all like that. He don't even rock with y'all and he don't even like you. And he said this about this. And I said, well, why would you do that? Why would you do that? I don't even care. At this moment, you trying to stop her bread. You trying to stop her bread. I don't give a damn if you don't like me in business right about now, okay, in certain situations. And if this person hasn't explicitly expressed to me that they don't like me or whatever, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't reach out to me, okay? And even if they did, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't be dumb enough to be putting it out there to other people that is in association with you so that you can stop. No, that's just dumb. And then it kind of found out, you know, Brandon do work with her. She's also his publicist and all that stuff. I just don't understand why you speaking on anybody else's stuff and you're stopping your friend's bag from getting her money. Baby, you ain't got to like me at this moment. Baby, this is a money exchange type of situation. I'm going to put your stuff out there because if you look good and I do good work for you, you're going to go ahead and give me my money and probably spread the word about what the good work that I do, okay? Because you may not like who I like. I don't get it. It's just like, it's real shady. It's real underhanded. It's real bitch made again. Okay? And they're going back and forth about who did this and who said what and all this stuff. And you lying. You know that you lying. You know that you sit there. I would never say this and all this stuff. And you blah, 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 blah. It went from that to... And I don't even understand what you're doing with this showcase. Why you trying to take over? Why you trying to take over? You don't even know what you're doing in no showcase. Why you even here? Why you even here? Man, we don't even know what you do. After all these years, we don't even know what you do, okay? I'm already made money, okay? I'm a millionaire. I already touched $1 million. Oh, with your daddy money, with your daddy money. What you talking about with my daddy money? My daddy money. I made more money than anybody up in my family and all this stuff and whatever. And whoop, whoop, whoop. I said... both of y'all just dumb. Anthony and Brandon going back and forth at each other. And I'm sitting here like, ain't nobody ever come out of Star Factory. Ain't no, did he say Big Sean? He said, yeah, Big Sean. I said, well, I mean, all right, if that's the case, I don't know if he was talking about if he really came out of Star Factory or if he at least worked with him. I don't know. But at the same time, I'm sitting here like, I feel like to try to crush your friend who you see is already going through it because they are still trying to get their footing into the door, into the industry that they're trying. And I know I ragged on Brandon, but it's different now because it's your friend. It's his friend doing this. It's one thing for us, the viewing public who don't know these people and just going off of what we're seeing and how they're acting and, you know, all of that to say something. But for your friend of 20 plus years to be sitting here and to be dogging you out like that, and then want to say, because Bravo had to say, y'all got to calm down or whatever, and Bravo interjected and said, well, it was really me that basically tried to take it over because y'all really wasn't seeing eye to eye like that, and I didn't know what was going on. And I truly feel like Bravo just said that just so that it could diffuse the situation, and I really don't feel like he had nothing to do with it. I don't like that. You're mudslinging and you're going tit for tat, and then you're trying to put this man down who ain't got much compared to what you got. And it just goes to show me, Anthony, you look down on Brandon. I don't want to be friends with somebody that look down on me. And then they came together and they smoothed it out some way, somehow, and they talk about something we still gonna be, I still love you and I still want to see you succeed. Baby, I wouldn't be friends with you after that, because this is like the second time. Okay? I just couldn't be friends with you. I just could not be friends with you, and I wouldn't be able to trust you. All right? And then we get moving on from that. It just feels real fake and phony right about now, because I just can't, because in real life, I don't care. Tell me something. That Bible study just saved you. What? Just stupid. Meanwhile, Christina and Kobe meets up. Christina said, let's meet up in the park, public place, okay? And I ain't even gonna go back and forth about what was said. I'm gonna just say this. Russell did say that Christina called him and told him what Brittany had said, the publicist, about Anthony throwing their name up in the box, right? Latoya said something about, and she hadn't even reached out. I mean, that's your friend or whatever. You can't even tell her happy birthday. Girl, I don't give a damn. If I ain't fucking with you right now, I ain't finna reach out to you and say happy birthday. That means I'm ready to talk, and I ain't ready to talk. I'm not that big of a person, okay? But Christina, I have to give it to her. Christina is not finna show her ass in front of everybody on purpose. And she did not come there to try and to ride up. Kobe, on the other hand, she did. If you knew that you were not going to come to a sit down and to have a conversation with a person that you've been trying to have or been wanting to have and been in your feelings because they have not reached out to you, and then the moment that they reach out to you, you want to come there with so much attitude that you don't want to hear anything that they have to say, what was the point of coming there? What was the point? What was the point of coming there? Because Christina sat down, Kobe sat down, and Christina, you could tell, was willing to talk. Kobe came there ready to fight, okay? Because Christina trying to get down to the bottom of it. Christina trying to understand exactly why you blew up the way that you blew up, okay? And then it goes from that to, well, if you would have answered the phone and if you would have called, you would have known, okay? You up here, and we already known what it was. Because Kobe said in her little confessionals or whatever, when it was narrating that she walking there, she was like, now you want to sit down and meet up in public or whatever to have the conversation when you could have literally called me on the phone. Oh, you can't call on the phone? I have kids, you have kids, we got business and busy and all this stuff, but you want to... I said, I mean, it's the same thing. Now we complain about the fact that she want to have a conversation with you. Now it's the fact that she don't want to have it over the phone, but she want to have it in front of you. Baby, I don't want to have a conversation over the phone when I just blew up at my friend or somebody that I thought was my friend. I want to look at you face to face because I want to see your facial expression. I want you to see how I'm saying things. I want to see how you are perceiving it, okay? That's just what it is. That's just what it is. That's what mature adults do. I just don't understand, girl. What do you want? What do you want? It's just too much. And then at this point, she was like, you should have just called. You should have just called or whatever. If you want to do this, you should have just called. You pick up the phone. But you pick up the phone and you call my husband. Don't you ever call my husband. Don't you ever talk to my husband. And if you ever pick up the phone and if you ever call my husband, I said, we issuing threats. Russell and Kobe like to issue threats. That's why they together. They like to issue threats. Did y'all see that white couple that was sitting there just looking at them like this? Baby, that would have been me. Like, what's going on? I would have scooted the chair over a little bit like, what? And she acted like she called her husband to do something. She can't call your husband. She not talking to you. But she giving your husband a heads up about things that's being said about y'all. And that shows that, in my opinion, that she still kind of care. You know, she don't really want no friction, and she just want y'all not to be on the outset and not know that this is being said about y'all, but you making a big deal. I said, Kobe, if you don't get your childish ass out, temper tantrum. Temper tantrum. That's all that it came down to. Kobe, you really made yourself. You may have you may be younger, you may have more Instagram follower or whatever, a bigger influencer if you want to go by numbers and all that stuff. But you literally are so immature right about now, and you're showing that you are the youngest in this group, and you have not lived, and you don't know how to. You want to have communication with your husband, and you wonder why your husband don't communicate with you at this moment, because baby, you don't know how to communicate yourself. Okay, that's all that I got from this episode of Love and Marriage Detroit. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about it. I'm finna go eat my girl. I ate all day. I have to stop doing this. I'll see y'all later. Okay, peace.